So, with y'all, Foster Gamer, we back in here. I'm just sharing the stream real quick here. But yeah, shout out Rome, I saw he was on earlier. Why he messed up my whole thing. Let's see. Twitch. What's good, Katsu? Shout out to the homie Katsu, aka Divine Legend, in a live chat on Twitch. You know it, bro. You know it. Alright. Everything sounds good. So, as you can see, we solved a long day at the office. And crazy thing about that one was I actually had to submit it twice. I had to submit my answer twice. But I did get it right on the first try, pretty much. I just worded everything wrong with that. But we fixed it. So it looks like the next one we're going to be on is Lightning Never Strikes Twice. And then if I got time, maybe we'll do a single shot as well. So let's see here. Lightning Never Strikes Twice. Let's see. Lightning Never Strikes. Okay, why I keep saying that? That's because they put it in so many times. But anyway, 2007. It's in Dixon, Maine. United States. An elderly couple was found dead in their house on the outskirts of the town by their neighbor. At first glance, it looks like someone broke into their home and attacked them both using some blunt instrument. Even though the crime scene was grisly enough, the detective who took over the investigation later discovered one more disturbing detail in the story. This is a level 3 case. You can gain 1 premium token by solving this correctly. Ooh, okay. Let's check out this report. So, December 6, 2007. Looks like 10 a.m. So let's see. At 10:28, Rose Baxley made a 911 call. That's crazy. Made a 911 call. She reported that. I didn't mean to read it like that, mind you. I didn't mean to read the shit like that. My fault. She made a call. She reported that she went to her next door neighbors, where she found the front door ajar and Allison Hart lying on the floor in a pool of blood. So he said officer twice. Officer Harry Jameson. Yeah, that's Jameson, right? Was sent to secure the crime scene. Hold on. Bro, it was not my fault, man. It was not my fault. But yeah, so Jameson was sent to secure the crime scene. Dispatcher also forwarded the message to homicide unit and Dick's. Oh my god, I can't say it. In fucking Maine, bro. Cause like every time, yeah, bro, I can't say it, bro. Cause it's like dispatcher also forwarded the message to the homicide unit and Dixon Police Department. Detective, let's see, Kevin Williamson and Detective Michael Russell were assigned to investigate. Michael Russell's an actual detective, right? I think he's actually famous. Let's see, reported the first police officer on the scene. I arrived at the crime scene at 10:36. Rose Baxley was waiting in the front of the house. As she told me, she did not enter the house. She only touched the door when she opened it to look inside. From the front door, the body of Allison Hart was clearly visible at the bottom of the stairs. There were no signs of perpetrators still being on the scene. I checked the house from outside and noticed that the glass was broken in the window of the dining room. I secured an area below the window and finished the inspection of the house before detectives arrived. Apart from broken glass, there were no signs of violence inside the house. The couple's car, a brown Ford Taurus wagon, registration. Anyway, the whip was parked next to the house. Windows were closed, doors were closed, but not locked. Let's see. So, reporter, the investigating officer. While checking information about the victim, I stumbled upon a police report from Georgia in which Jason Hart was listed as a suspect in the murder of his first wife. On the 3rd of September 1991, Therese Cooper and Jason Hart were attacked by an unknown masked perpetrator who broke into their house in Fairburn, Georgia. Georgia. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So yeah, the masked perpetrator attacked them with blunt instrument. Jason Hart survived the attack with light head injuries, while his wife died from her head injuries. There was a broken window in the living room, but according to original investigators, it looked staged. After the lab, they did not find any physical evidence left by the perpetrator, Jason Hart. Okay. It's weird how they sentenced that. Anyway, after the lab did not find any physical evidence left by the perpetrator, Hart became okay, so the comment was supposed to go after perpetrator. But anyway, Hart became a person of interest, especially when the investigators learned about his wife's life insurance that he would benefit from. Soon after the interrogation. Oh my god. Light head injury, my ass. Yeah, I know, bro. I know. Yeah, I'm definitely fumbling with my reading though. Soon after the second interrogation, Hart stopped to cooperate with local police and 6 months later moved to Maine. Due to the lack of evidence against Hart, the case never reached the court, although he still was the prime suspect. Okay. I guess we'll go to the victims next here. So Jason Hart, let's see, 6'9". Alright, so he's about average build. He was attacked from behind with a blunt instrument. 3 blows to the back of the head caused a fracture to the skull. So it looks like on the thing, they're saying first somebody clocked him on the middle of his head. I'm assuming he might have tried to get up or reach for something. And then that's where you get D over here. And then C is like the ender. That's like the finisher. So let's see here. Damage to the brain. Estimated time of death is around... Was it 4 hours before 12? So wait, 8? So that's like 8 o'clock? I hate military time because that always throws me off. But it was like evening. The murder weapon was a very hard object with a round or close to round shape and about 1 inch in diameter. Slight bruising on the right forearm could suggest defensive wound, but most likely was caused by a fall on the floor or hitting the stair railings. Okay, that makes more sense. No other signs of violence on external inspection. So inspection of internal organs shows liver damage, which suggests quite extensive... Oh. That is extremely loud, man. I had to turn it down on my end. Let's see. Inspection of the internal organs show liver damage, which suggests quite extensive alcohol consumption. Stomach contents suggest that the victim ate the last meal about 2 hours prior to his death. I said veal and some potatoes. So now with Allison, she's 5'6". She's slim build. Holy shit, bro. Why she got so many? Okay, so off the rip. Yo, so off the rip, this killer is sexist as hell. Cause why she got so many bruises here? This is crazy. Like she got to face her. She got to face the attacker. That's crazy. Let's see. Check. Judging by the size of the wound, it was most likely the same weapon that killed the first victim. A very hard object with a round. Okay, we get that. She was hit 5 times in the head. First strike hit her on the temple, most likely rendered her unconscious. The 4 strikes that followed were executed when the victim was lying on the floor. There were several fractures in the victim's skull. She most probably died soon after the attack. Estimated time of death is... So she died at 8. But they saying he died about 30 minutes after her. Okay. So we'll keep note of that. Let's see. So bruising found on the arms of the victim was caused prior to the attack, most likely a few days prior. Another bruising on the shoulder might have been caused by a failed strike from the assailant. No other signs. Okay. Inspection of the internal organs provide no new findings. Stomach contents suggest that the victim ate the last meal about 2. So they ate together. Alright. Let me see his crime scene. So I see this is where the window broke. And this is where he was. and this is where she was. Wait, no, this is where she was. I'm bugging. Because she would have been found by the stairs, because when the door opens, she's seen. Wait, that lady said she peeked in? But according to this, how the door would open, she would have had to open the door more to see. Or she would at least had to peek her head in order to see her right here. Let's see. On arrival at 69695 Hillway, we talked to Jameson and Baxley. The officer reported a broken window on the west side of the building. We entered the house after the technician secured the evidence. Hart was found dead on the floor. Yeah, on the ground floor by the stairs. Husband was found upstairs, both head injuries that looked like the probable cause of death. There were blood splatters on the wall above the stairs, on the floor next to the victims. Huh. There were blood splatters on the walls above the stairs, on the floor next to the victims. The murder weapon was not found in the crime scene. We found no sign that the murder weapon belonged to the household. We checked the dining room and the broken window, but it does not look like this was the way of entry for the perpetrator. So it was his escape route. The glass in the window was broken. Most shards land on the outside, which suggests that it was staged to suggest breaking in and entering. Okay, yeah, that's what I was peeping to. Alright, so an office room located next to the front door. There were papers lying next to the desk and some drawers were open. Upstairs there were signs that whoever entered the house was looking for something in the wardrobe, although there was no sign of a struggle. On the driveway leading towards the house, we found only tire marks of a car that belonged to the victims. Okay. See, inside the car, we found an envelope hidden under the road map inside the glove compartment. Inside the envelope, we found $5,000 still wrapped in banknote strap. Huh. Alright. And on the floor next to the victims. Huh. So now my question becomes, there's still so much that I'm missing out of this. Because my whole thing is, His blood splatters above the stairs and below the stairs, right? But they didn't specify if there was any on the stairs as well. And like where they both got killed at is just extreme. It's too convenient. Like both of them are by the looks like both of them are by the stairs pretty much. So that's the part that got me. Judging by the size of the wound, it's more like yeah, it'll be the same weapon, or at least that's what they want us to think. The victim was caused prior to the attack. So what is he, like, abusive? So another bruising on the shoulder might have been caused from missing. This one definitely gonna be a tough one. Alright, so I guess next we'll go testimonies and then we'll go evidence. So first, Baxley. This was 11:55. Let's see, when was the last time you spoke to your neighbors? 2 days ago I phoned them. Hart picked up the phone but told me Allison was not there. Even though what? I could swear I saw her not longer than 10 minutes earlier next to their house. You think he lied to you? Well, we never been on good terms. I liked his wife, but he always seemed very crude to me. What do you mean? I don't know, he made me feel uncomfortable when I visit them. He kept quiet, he just stared at me from a distance, you know? Just a bit eccentric. Do you have any idea who might want them dead? Her, no. Him, I don't know. I always thought they should not be together. Allison was a very warm and kind person, but he seemed to have a darker side. What do you mean by a darker side? I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, let me. I was about to go into a Fabulous verse show. I was like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm so into you now. But let me sorry. Let me keep it. Let me get serious. I don't know how to explain it. He was just standoffish and had very cold eyes. Did they have any friends around here? Not that I know of. I think I was like the only one. I mean, Hart a few times had quarrels with the neighbors about little things like leaves falling on his yard or cats wandering too close to his house. Ask Anthony Moray. They had an argument that was going on for months. Have you seen anyone visit the couple recently? No, they were a bit recluse. Wait, recluse? Like recluse? Or recluse? I had to learn that one. I believe it's recluse. But anyway, can't remember anyone visiting them in recent months. Because of him, I guess. What do you mean because of him? Bro, we all, like, everybody know what... like, bro, you just asked her a few questions about this. It's like, we all know this man low-key is cold. It's like, I don't know, he was a bit creepy when I was around. Even when they were shopping, he was always closely looking at her and people were not that keen to approach her. Do you think they were a happy couple? I don't think so. I mean, they were complete opposite. Do you know how and when they met? About 10 years ago, after her husband died, she was on her own taking care of her son for a few years before she met Art. She told me she was lonely. So when he showed up in her life, she was just happy she had someone she can rely on. And do you know her first husband? Oh wait, do you know how her first husband died? Heart attack. He collapsed while driving home from work and drove straight into a concrete barrier. Damn. When was that? I'm not sure. About 1990, I think. So 17 years ago. You know when they moved into this house? Around 2000. So 10 years later. And where's her son? I don't know. She was quite evasive about that. So I did not pressure her for answers. Do you know if she had any relatives? A sister, Samantha Flynn. But they were not that close, I think. I mean, I never even saw her visiting them. Where were you last night? At home? I'm retired. I spend most of my time at home. Have you noticed anything unusual lately? No, I don't think so. Alright. She's retired? Wait, how old is she? She's 71. Bruh, she ain't do it. She too old. she way too old. How long? Let me actually just start looking up these ages before I go. So all these motherfuckers is gonna be old. All these motherfuckers gonna be old. Alright. How long have you lived here? Since 1986. You live alone? Yes. My wife died of cancer in 2002. What can you tell me about your neighbors? Jason Hart? That asshole? I know it's not right to say shit about the dead, you know, but I'm glad he gone. If I could, I'd piss on his grave. He was a pain in the ass. If you excuse my French, that is. But then again, I already been cursing. Since he moved in here. The neighborhood, I mean. There been nothing but trouble with him. Either he was complaining or he was hating. Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing too. Like, I'm curious about where the son at. Let's see. Complaining about what? About my cat wandering into his property. But my car being about my car being parked in the streets. About smoke from my grill. Even though what I made was flaming. More than a Meek Mill mixtape. He would just complain about it though. He once even said he would break my cat's neck if he found him chilling around his house again. How about Allison Hart? I rarely spoke to her, but she seemed okay. I just could not understand how she could marry him. What do you mean? She was very quiet, and he seemed very protective of her. Or rather, overprotective. Were you ever worried he could harm her? I don't know. I just tried to stay away from them. stay in my own lane, as the youngins say. Which is not easy since there are only 3 houses around this block. What the fuck? It's a hating ass man. Katsu said that. Yeah. Yo, it's like imagine you on a 3 house block. That means y'all houses are nowhere near each other. At least that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming y'all got like at least a good amount of distance from each other. So why on earth? Like why on? Like I can't. Anyway, let's see. What about your other neighbor, Baxley? I know her for years. She is a retired teacher. She's okay. I mean, we're not friends or anything, but I have no problems with her. I would hit that. Do you know about anyone who would want to harm them? They actually told you about my argument with Hart, right? So yeah, I would harm the shit out of him. But in the grand scheme of things, it was nothing really. He came banging on my door and shouting that he knows I broke the window in his house. Have you? Of course not. I'm not gonna piss off some wacko by breaking a window in his house. He told me he was in the Marines, that he get busy, he get crazy in them streets, and knows people who could take care of me if I don't stay away from his house. Would you get even? Said, would you get even with someone that crazy by breaking his window? So how can you not mind? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How can you not mind your business when it's only 3 houses on the block, man? Wait, when was that? 3 months ago. So why was he convinced that you did it? Because it was soon after he told me he'd killed my cat. He thought I took it personal. Did you call the police? To give him another reason to freak out? Hell nah. I blocked the cat flap and stayed away from him. That man crazy. I was planning to move out anyway. Fuck this block. But now that he dead, I might as well stay here. The rent's pretty cheap. And did he call the police to report the broken window? I don't think so. At least I never heard about it again from him or the authorities. Where were you last night? At home. The whole time? Yes, I let the cat out about 6 p.m. and about 15 minutes later, I locked down the door and watched television. Have you ever been to their house? Not since they moved in. I knew the elderly couple that lived there before. Have you noticed anything unusual lately? Maybe. But it might be nothing, but yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw a black pickup driving down the road. He turned around and then drove again. Maybe someone was lost. But I don't know. We are in a rather secluded place. Do not get many cars around these parts here. And it wasn't anyone who lives nearby. What time exactly was that? Early, 7 a.m. Do you remember any details about the car? No, I just saw it drive down twice in a short time and thought it was unusual. Like he was going to do a drive-by or something. It might have been an old Ford, like a F-150. Black, a bit rusty around the edges. Do you know anything about Allison Hart's son? I didn't even know she had a son. It's fuck the block, then it's fuck the block and get out of get the stepping partner. So Yeah, yo, all these motherfuckers is gonna be like, it's gonna be like 69. That's crazy. Shoot. All right, so we got Samantha Flynn, the victim's sister. I'm sorry to inform you, but your sister is dead. She's dead? Yeah, she dead. We pretty sure it's a homicide. So he finally killed her. Wait, who the fuck you mean? Her husband, Jason Hart. Why do you think he killed her? He's evil. Evil. I knew he would do it. I warned her. He had the Ike Turner vibes. What do you mean by evil? And why was you saying evil like that? My sister changed completely after she met him, step by step, time after time. He cut her off from the rest of the family. I don't remember how many times I called her. He always picked up the phone and told me she was out shopping or works in the garden, even though I know she is not. Last time we met 4 years ago, they came for Thanksgiving dinner, and they stayed less than an hour. She was very quiet. She seemed, I don't know, like in a trance, I guess. Then suddenly he decided they have to leave early. She just got up and left. I don't know what he did, but she completely was under his control. I barely spoke to her since then. What do you know about him? Not much. He was in the Marines, I think. That's funny though. I'm sorry to like stop reading that, like stop reading for a second. But yeah, that's ironic because it's like some of the Marines I've met have been like pretty chill folks. They just don't be beef for nonsense though. That's how like my pops always was. It's like chill, cool as hell. It's just it's like you bullshit them too long, that side of them just come out and you just know not to fuck with them after that. It's just but like as far as like abusive or whatever, no. it's not that real. But anyway, not much. He was in the Marines, I think, but not much more. My sister did not talk about him much. When he suddenly appeared in her life, she was just head over heels in love. Actually, Jason Hart was also found dead too. What? How? Did he kill himself? No, we think they both were attacked in their house. Oh my god. Why didn't you tell me that? We were trying to figure out what happened, so anything you could tell us about him or what was going on in their house would help. As I told you before, I barely spoke to the sister. As I told you before, I barely spoke to my sister in the last 3 years because of him. I know very little about his past. Do you know when your sister first met him? In '98, I think. She lived in Boston for a while, and that's where she met him. What about your sister's son? We don't even know his name. Oh, Davy Warren. He's from her previous marriage. He got involved with the wrong crowd and ended up in rehab a few years back. Damn, he was banging. What's good, Johnny? How you doing, bro? Shout out to Johnny Gymnast in the live chat on YouTube. What's good, Brody? Solving mysteries. Let's see here. We don't know his name. Oh, do you know where he was? Oh, do you know where that? Oh my goodness. Do you know where was that rehab? Somewhere in Boston. Do you know where he is right now? No, there was an incident between him. Wait, so there was an incident between him and Jason Hart a few years back, and he just took off. Wow, good. I mean, life's been life, bro. I've been mostly working. That's been a lot with me. Let's see. What do you mean an incident? I don't really know. I lost contact with my sister soon after, so had no chance to learn the details. Do you have any idea who might want to harm your sister or husband? My sister, no. Him? I wouldn't be surprised. So let's see, Jeff Merritt, the last caller. He's 66. Alright. So let's see what we got here. Where do you know Jason Hart from? Why, you ask? We are conducting an investigation that involves him. We were serving together. Were you in the Army? No, the Marines. I feel you on that, Johnny. Yeah, I've been working, man. Wait, you were... Oh, yeah, so... When were you in the Marines? Between 1961 and 1968. You were in Vietnam? Yes, we both served in Vietnam. And you stayed in touch after that, for a while, but not recently. No, we did not speak for years. Why? He lived in Georgia, I lived in Colorado, and then he moved to Maine, I moved to Michigan. We just were far away from each other. Besides, I'm often moving between jobs, so... Wait, what do you mean? What do you do for a living? I'm a carpenter. I go where the job is. And you didn't have... Wait, and you didn't have contact with him for years? No, I mean... Yes, I called him recently. Why? I just thought it would be a good idea to contact him. I was supposed to have a job for a few months in Maine, so I thought I could meet him. And did you meet? No. He said he had... Oh, he said that something came up, and he was busy right now. And that was it? Yes. I said I'll call him when I get back to Maine. You also sent him an email. Yeah. Semper Fi? Yeah. Why? It's just a reminder that he is not alone. And why would he need a reminder of that? We served in the Marines. Oh wait, he's asking, have you served in the Army? No. Then you wouldn't understand. Where your ass was at on the 11th and the 12th of June? Why? It's a simple enough question, bro. On the 11th? I'm not sure. It was 4 days ago. Oh, I was traveling to Michigan to Vermont. Why? The main job did not work out. I was trying another one in Vermont. And did you get a Vermont job? I don't know yet. He said, did you get a Vermont job? I don't know yet. They'll let me know in a few days. When you last spoke to Jason Hart, did he seem worried or distressed? No. Can you think of anyone that would want to harm him? No, he was a good guy. One more question. Do you use a hammer in your work? Yeah, I'm a carpenter. It's like I couldn't work without one. Man, if they don't get this man out of here, bro. Bro, ain't no way this case is this easy. This is supposed to be a 3-star. I'm not believing this. I'm really not. I think what's gonna make this one tough is I'm gonna have to prove it. I think that's what it is. You're a hard person to find. Depends on who's looking for me. When was the last time you spoke to your mother? Why? It's a simple question. A few years back. Could you be more specific? Not really. As far as I'm concerned, I have no mother. Not since she got involved with this guy. What guy? Why are you asking me all these questions? That asshole she married. He ratted me out to the cops. Jason Hart. Why? Because he's an asshole. He was so convinced that I was using drugs while living with them that he called the cops. The white ones. And were you using drugs? All these questions, man. What they told you about me? They tell you what I be doing? Your mother is dead. And you think I killed her. Have you? I don't know where she was living. When I was in rehab, they just moved out of our house. And that's the last thing I know about them. And you never found out where they lived. I just told you no. They left Boston, and when I left rehab, they were just gone. What did you do after that? I was homeless for a year. How long have you lived with your mother and stepfather? About a year and a half. He constantly harasses me to move out. What can you tell me about him? Apart that he is an asshole, not much. Oh yeah, he is a control freak. He was checking where she goes, what she's doing, who she's talking to. If I was late from a party, I had to sleep outside the door until the morning. I don't know what else to say. Was he ever violent towards you or your mother? Physically, no. But he has some anger problems. He can literally freak out about nothing and 5 minutes later just act like nothing happened. You think he was hurting your mother? I wouldn't be surprised. But I can't say that I witnessed anything of that kind. Jason Hart is dead. You mean they're both dead? What the fuck happened? We are not sure. They were attacked in their house. I had nothing to do with it. I put that on everything. I did not say that you had. Why else would you find me? You think I did it? Do you know anyone that would want to hurt them? Apart from me, no. Apart from you, no. Look. Me. I don't know anything about their lives anymore. Where were you in the afternoon on June 11th? No idea. I guess I was home. I was on drugs. You live alone? Yeah, and I do drugs. Can you think of a bit harder about what you did that day? What do you want from me, man? I don't remember what I was doing 2 days ago, and you think I'll guess where I was over a week ago? Week ago? Alright, let's see this evidence now. Alright, so we got the Ford Taurus wagon. Let's see, the car was parked near the owner's house. Apart from a small dent in the front bumper, there are no signs of the car being any sort in any sort of incident. The dent was most likely caused by being hit by a small rock or a piece of tarmac, perhaps ejected by some other car in a small traffic. Inside the car, only fingerprints of the owner and his wife were found. There are no signs of violence in the car. Inside the compartment, you had the $5,000 wrapped in a banknote strap. Only fingerprints that they were able to secure on the banknotes belonged to Jason. Below the driver's seat, we found a concealed weapon. A Colt Detective Special Caliber 38. Damn. Strapped to the side of the seat using duct tape. Partial fingerprints found on the duck, and it belongs to him, yeah. Further tests proved that the gun was not recently used. Alright, cotton fibers. We could not find any fingerprints around the spot where the perpetrator entered the house, which could mean he was wearing gloves. On the piece of broken glass, we found cotton fibers, tiny pieces of hardened plastic which might suggest the perpetrator was wearing some type of workman's gloves. During the search, we found this money. Banknotes look almost new and were wrapped in the banknote, which suggests they were withdrawn from the bank in that form. Money were within envelope, hidden under the road mat. So you obviously owed money. That's what I'm thinking, at least. So he didn't even clean the gun or anything. He just put 6 in the chamber and just kept it in the car at all times. Alright, let's see what we got here. So this must have been the call she was talking about. And it was only 28 seconds. And the call's location, yeah, by the crib. Incoming. But who's Diamond Star? Incoming on the landline. And then Jason did a call from downtown Maine. What's Diamond Star? It's a magazine. It's a magazine subscription. Okay. So obviously, it's more to this. Huh? These are a lot of calls. Alright, so here's the thing that's confusing to me on this one. Okay, I see it now. So incoming call. Incoming call, outgoing call. Huh? Wait, oh yeah, because it's okay. So Jeff's already camping here. See, that's already a red flag right here. That was June 11, 2007. And when was this happen? When did this happen? So that's June 7. Wait, or is this instead like the day going into the time? I said the day going into the month. Is this what's throwing me off here? Wait, no. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I almost did not peep that. This is the day going into the... Oh, wow. So this is the 12th. He died on the 12th. and he said he didn't get to hang with him. However, he said he ain't getting to hang with him, and yet he has an incoming call from him from the same street on the 11th, a day before. This man is a pure cap. He's a pure cap. He lied. Alright, let's see what we got for the computer here. Seems that Jason Hart was quite active on the gambling website, and from time to time, the erotic websites. From our analysis, we can say that he lost about $300 US in recent weeks on the online gambling, which was not a lot compared to his current bank statement. He usually took part in low-stake poker games. It does not seem like he took much risk. The erotic websites did not provide any additional data, but we can tell that he's a gooner. The only position outside his usual patterns of online activity was checking the address of a nearby gun shop. The search was made on the 11th at 14:56. Yeah, because he was shook. He owed money. Yeah, he owed money. That's why this man, Jeff Merritt, yeah, the only unusual email was from Jeff Merritt is contained only words Semper Fi. It was received on the 11th June. Yeah. There does not seem to be any other email communication between them. Another unusual detail was the email from the bank informing him of unusual activity in his account. On the 11th, someone took out $500, which triggered an automatic warning signal that was sent via email. It does not look like Jason Hart took any further action after receiving that warning. After that withdrawal, the account still had over $80,000. Okay. Anthony Moray. So let's see, he has a DUI, was stopped by patrol while driving erratically. I'm not even trying to hear about his neighbor. His neighbor shit really is not. It's not really having me be like, yo, he on bullshit. Y'all gonna have to, come on, man. Y'all gonna have to give me something better. Yeah, he's just a drunk. So vandalism. So he was caught while writing graffiti on private property. So at least with Davey, he can actually go into stuff. It was detained through the night and transported to the court in the morning, where he was sentenced to a $200 fine. So Boston, Massachusetts. Further charges was arrested in Lincoln Avenue while trying to buy marijuana by undercover police officer. That's crazy. He was detained for 48 hours, later transported to court, and he was sentenced to 3 months in prison, suspended for a year. Yep, that sound like it. Because weed was illegal back then. That's crazy, yo. A lot of y'all growing up in a world where weed's not illegal no more. Let's see. 1997, arrested on 12th Street during a fight. The arresting officer found a small amount of cocaine in his possession. He was detained in jail for 24 hours and later transported to court. This arrest added his suspended sentence, and he was sent to jail for 6 months. PCT 2000, theft and drug possession. Okay. Driving under the influence. Was arrested while erratically in Dodge Caravan. Breathalyzer did not detect anything, but he was taken. Okay. Lakeland, Florida. Oopalaka. Shout out to Briscoe, dope ass rapper. The Oopalaka Goon. Let's see. Okay, so he was arrested. So he's in Florida this whole time. Yeah, so he was in Florida. He's innocent. Yeah, see, I don't even know why y'all even had his statement. This man's statement didn't matter to begin with. He was nowhere near. Yeah, shit was wild. Yeah, bro. And then the crazy thing about him was he would have been in jail that day. It's not enough time. Because we're talking about Maine to Florida. And the murder was at 10 a.m. So, how you managed to get arrested at 11:30? So that means you would have already been having to be driving drunk. But we talking about Maine is all the way by Canada and shit. So you telling me you drove 5 states within an hour and 30? Yeah, so he has nothing to do with this one. So Jeff Merritt. Let's see here. Domestic violence. Woman called the police to report her partner, Jeff Merritt, hit her and clocked her during the argument. Patrol was dispatched on arrival. Officers noticed that the woman had bruises. Jeff Merritt was arrested and placed in county jail. In the morning, he was transported to county court where he served a sentence of 3 months. DUI. Fine. And then 1991, he was stopped by patrol after he failed to stop at a red light. And he was given just a citation or whatever. And then in motherfucking in February 4th, I said February 4th. In April 2nd, he had check fraud. He was arrested. It was reported that he had written bad checks to his wood supplier for a total of that much and ignored the court summons that were delivered to him. He spent a few hours in custody, after which he was taken to court. He was ordered to pay back the total value in the court costs. So, bam, $4,000. You know what's crazy? All right, so just going off of all this that seemed to transpire, I kind of already kind of drew the conclusion here, but it's weird as hell to me. It's just extremely weird as hell to me because all right, I just need the phone call records here. Okay. Uh, so Jeff gets into bullshit on April, right? And then for whatever reason he calls in June. And I want to say this is probably when they were like catching up for like 4 minutes or so. Then he calls again. Oh, it's June 11th. So he calls around this time, probably asks us for the money. And at first, I'm assuming Jason probably is like, okay, I got you, bro. Come through. Content to his computer. That's the other problem, too. They didn't show me like all the websites. Let's see. And that was on the 11th. And I'm assuming that dude kept asking him for money. And either Jason was like, okay, cool, bro, I got you, or whatever. Or dude was like, yo, bro, I don't got it. So then Jeff's like, yo, come on, bro, come on, man. Like, you gotta help me out, man. I'm like down this amount. I'm doing this badly, and blah, 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 blah. Then that's the other thing, too. Kept, he kept capping. He was capping his heart out. That's the crazy part, too. Because, and then not that, he has access to a weapon that seems the same as the murder weapon. Where were you on the 11th and the 12th of June? So yeah, so he says on the 11th he was doing this and that, right? On the 11th and the 12th of June. On the 11th and the 12th of June, right? On the 11th and the 12th of June. On the 11th and the 12th of June. On the 11th and the 12th of June. Fuck you mean, bro? What the fuck you mean? You was there. You was at the crib. We got you. You are exposed, bro. You capped your heart out. Like, what in the world is this? On the 11th and the 12th of June. Oh my god. He said he was in Vermont. I'm like, bro, that's three. That's not even three. That's like what, like 5 states away? When you last, he seen Warrior Distress. Nope. I wonder if he knew prior to this. He must have. And then he was talking about like, yeah, I'm gonna get a job in Maine. I mean, in Vermont. So my only question I got is, how did he pull this off? Speaking of which, why didn't they tell me what type of car he got either? Wait a minute. So, attack from behind with a blunt object, 3 blows to the head. And he bled to death. Oh, he bled to death. And he was the first one to die. Okay, this makes more sense now. Wait, no, they said this is her estimated time of death. That's what kept throwing me off. So it don't matter. Even if he, like, let's say he was still alive, right? But he was just, like, bleeding out to death. He could have been the one that got hit first. She sees, she screamed. Why are we looking at dicks? Well, why are you? I was looking at these words right here, bro. What's up with you, Zook? Shout out to Zuki M1. He on Twitch. Now I'm not gonna make the joke just because one day, one day bro gonna hit me with a haymaker. Nah, said nah, nigga. I was looking at the stream. I saw it. You saw nothing, Zook. You saw nothing, man. That is crazy. I was not thinking about this as I was looking at the case here. We got titties too. Wait, will I get in trouble for that? It don't count. It's a drawing. Yeah, now I just started thinking about that. I'm like, wait, why I get in trouble for that? Oh Jesus. But oh yeah, where was I? So pretty much what it seems like is they let him into the crib. He bops this man upstairs here. He's bleeding to death. Oh wait, I actually gotta go back to the picture now. Cause she saw it. I'm assuming. I'm assuming she saw it. Like right when I guess he finished like beating the shit out of him with the hammer, she saw it. He he somehow ran. I don't know. They all old as shit though. That's like the one thing too. So I'm not like they're too old to the point where it's like no. Yeah, because he's 66. I don't think he's making that type of run. But I saw this case pretty much. So yeah, so Jeff did it. That's what I'm going with. I still got like a damn. That was like only an hour in too. All right, I guess we can go into like the next case then. So let's see. So next up we have, yeah, because there's one disturbing detail in that story. Huh. Even though the crime scene was grisly enough, the detective who took over the investigation later discovered one more disturbing detail. Oh yeah, that it was the person broke out. Like, yeah. Okay, so next up we got a single shot. So we'll go into this. Oh yeah, I guess we can bring the sound back. Sorry about that. Let's see. Wait, I think I was already on this one. I'll just stay on this one. Alright, so single shot, 2014, Spring Wells, Alabama, USA. A middle-aged woman moves to a new city, hoping to start a new life after her divorce. Just a few months later, she was found dead in her apartment with a single gunshot wound to the temple. The detective in charge was especially determined to solve the case. Since the victim's boyfriend is a fellow police officer, what we? Alright. Give me the case file, man. Let's do this. Victoria McAuliffe. Victoria, a 43-year-old divorcee, was found in the middle of the night in her apartment in Spring Wells, Alabama, next to her dead body. A Glock 17 handgun was found laying on the carpet, and a single empty shell case. According to her family and boyfriend, she had no reason to take her own life. The gunpowder residue was found around the wound on the right temple of Victoria. The gun was found next to her right hand. Several people confirmed she was right-handed. It was confirmed that the bullet that killed her was shot from a Glock 17 found on the crime scene. Police did not find any signs of a struggle inside the apartment. The neighbors did not hear anything apart from a single gunshot. A few minutes later, before midnight, police arrived to the scene in less than 5 minutes from receiving the call. The coroner did not find signs of drugs in her blood system, only a small amount of alcohol, most likely consumed during dinner. 6 months earlier, when her divorce from Ethan Wilcox was finalized, she moved to Springwell from Atlanta, Georgia. She worked as a waitress in a diner by the highway, where she was making a decent income from tips. A few months before her death, she met her boyfriend, Mateo Marino. Actually, I think I heard of this one too, actually. Huh. Cause that first one sounded familiar too. I don't know if the person, like, the people that did this changed the names. Mateo Marino. He's a local police officer. Last evening, the victim spent in a restaurant with her boyfriend. According to the staff of the restaurant, she left in the middle of dinner, but past 11 p.m., Mateo left soon after. Yeah, that's the case summary. So he left at 11. So now let's look at the suspects here. Ethan, let's see, ex-husband living in Atlanta. Whew. See, my thing already is the fact that because he's a cop, he would know how to be able to, like, tamper with evidence to a point. But anyway. Oh, no, this is Ethan Wilcox, the ex-husband. So, living in Atlanta during the divorce proceedings, Victoria gave mental and physical abuse as one of the reasons she wanted to end the marriage. Although Ethan strongly denied being abusive, and she provided no evidence to the court. After the divorce, she moved to Spring Woods, complaining that her ex-husband was harassing her. The police found evidence of him calling her and sending her messages quite often, but none of them they could qualify as harassment, leading towards prosecution. In their assessments, Ethan seemed bitter and was trying to win her back, but none of his messages contained any threats. In the evening his wife died, he was at his home in Atlanta, but he lives alone, so he has no strong alibi. And where is because that's Atlanta, right? Alabama. Okay, so Alabama and Atlanta aren't. No, Alabama's more towards the west of the U.S., right? No. Actually, no. It's like. It's still a drive, though. That's like the one thing. That's still like a decent drive, still. So if he did that, that means he would have to make sure. Yeah, that's a tough one. Welcome back, bro. So I figured out the first case. I'm gonna have to type that one out later, see if I get that right. So I'm on the second case. In my opinion, it looks like the police boyfriend did it, and they're either trying to like rule it as a suicide, or they're trying to like, or the police is trying to frame this Ethan, the victim's ex-husband, Ethan here. So let's see here. He a youngin' too. Versus her, she was like a whole 45. So Mateo, let's see, currently suspended and placed at the disposal of the police internal affairs department. He met Victoria 4 months ago in the diner where she worked. They started dating just a few days later. The police did not find anyone who would describe them differently than any happy couple, and they seemed made for each other. His suspension started a day before the death of Victoria. The night of her death, they went to a restaurant where, according to Mateo, she suddenly felt poorly and decided to return home. He paid for dinner and took her home, but she went upstairs alone. He drove away from the apartment building at around, so that's about 11:30. So, and returned to his house at midnight. A few months back, he bought a gun for her so she could defend herself in case of break-ins. Donovan Kenyon. Who the fuck is this? So let's see. Donovan Kenyon. He's a 36-year-old man, currently unemployed. He lives down the corridor on the same floor as Victoria. He actually has time to do it. So he supports himself from welfare payments due to social anxiety disorder. What the fuck? Bro, it is mad of us in the world that got ADHD and a whole bunch of these other disorders, bro. You telling me he living off of that shit? What? Let me find out, man. Let me find out. I'm working a 9 to 5, bro. I'm working a whole 9 to 5, man. That's insane. He said living off of welfare payments due to social anxiety disorder, because of which he rarely leaves the house. According to other neighbors, he spends most of the time playing video games, especially first-person shooter. Said first-person shooter modes. He often can be heard having aggressive outbursts while playing the games, when he shouts at other players or throws the controller. Victoria complained to another waitress that Kenyon was as she called it, over friendly towards her, and she was trying to avoid him, which was not easy since he lived almost next door. Kenyon was the one who heard the shot and called the police to check on Victoria the night she died. Wow. So Mateo might actually be telling the truth. This man might actually be the one. So Ashley Wilcox, the 28-year-old daughter of Victoria and Ethan. Currently, she is studying ecology at the University of Georgia. She was described by other students as a loner with tendency to depression. Supposedly, the divorce of her parents took a toll on her mental health, and she sought help from a therapist. Recently, she skipped some of the lectures the last 2 days before the death of her mother. She was absent from the university. She told police that she took some time off to sort herself out. She drove to Florida, but the single evidence she presented was a gas station bill, where she bought some food and some gas, but it was a gas station in Georgia. Wow. J. Cole, no, I'm kidding. Josh Cole, a 55-year-old owner of a Galaxy Diner, where she was the waitress at. In 1993, he was arrested in Florida for possession of narcotics and spent 18 months in prison. Released early for good behavior, and he moved to Alabama, where he worked as a bouncer in a nightclub, fast food manager, blah, 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 for the last 2 years as the owner of the Galaxy Diner. He told police Victoria was just acting normal on her last day, nothing unusual in the diner that day. He left the diner after 11 p.m., so when the shot in the apartment was heard, he was in his car on his way home. Okay. Let's see what we got for the evidence. So, we got the gun, Glock handgun, one round missing from the magazine, safety was on. The handle and the trigger guard there was... Wait, the safety was on? One round is missing from the magazine. Safety was on. The handle, trigger. There was partial fingerprints. One empty case was found. The residue of the gunpowder on the barrel provides it was recently used. Small traces of blood belonging to her were also found on the barrel. According to the official records, the gun was bought almost 4 months ago by Mateo. This is actually a pretty good one. Ask a question. Oh yeah, I forgot these things. Okay. And they don't have an accurate time of death, right? That's what I'm getting from this. Uh few minutes before midnight. Okay, let's eliminate Ethan first. We'll eliminate Ethan first. Because although he was trying to like get her back and stuff like that, and although he low-key might actually be abusive, yeah, he might be abusive as well. I'm not gonna act like he don't have like a few qualities of this. He is trying to keep control of the whole situation to an extreme. So him being abusive is possible. With Mateo, honestly, he's a little bit too honest. And then my other issue too is, it's like in this case, if I was the cops, I would press Mateo on like, or at least like whoever lives around him. I would press them and see if they can at least get like a possible hearing of him or something. Like maybe they heard his car, maybe they heard this and that. Cause yeah, if it's a few minutes before midnight, but he's getting home at midnight, he wouldn't have the time. That's too much. Like even though he's a police officer, that's too much pressure. That's way too much pressure. So to an extent, I can kind of rule him out. And then not only that, he bought her the gun. If it's like if I let's say if he wanted to actually do it, wouldn't you have her have like a different gun, or a gun that's not like any way traceable back to you? Like the fact that it's traceable like back to you like that, it kind of leans his innocence more. So then Kenyon has the time to do it. And then in my opinion too, well, they said there was no signs of struggle. Actually, that's the other thing too, of why it could work with Mateo. They said there was no signs of a struggle. So that means Mateo could have just let it go on her because he knows where her gun would be at. He knows where this and that. Yeah, because like with Kenyon, he would at least have to, he would have had to struggle with her. And according to the crime scene, police did not find any signs of struggle inside the apartment. Did not hear anything apart from it. I mean, they didn't say there was like any struggles outside the apartment either, though. That's the other thing too. So if we're going off of the fact that there was no struggle and stuff like that, then I'd probably say Mateo did it then. Shoot, technically Mateo could have had the gun and did it. Could have just did an easy wipe off and just get her fingerprints on the shit. It'd make more sense. Yeah, because one major thing working against Kenyon is the fact that it's like, if she really doesn't like this dude, then obviously like a struggle would have happened. I don't see any way that this man just gets her gun. Play to another witness that he was putting over from me. He said a Van Dyke beard is crazy. And then not only that, I'm pretty sure that's his first kill. So that was good, Xander. Shout out to Xander 155, bro, in the live chat on Twitch. How you been, bro? So yeah, I have to say Mateo did it. Because it's like he was with her during the time. He easily can get access to the gun. He's probably like the only person she wouldn't like have a struggle with. That they just named. Getting off of work, trying to go home. I feel you, fam. Cause yeah, everybody else on this list, she would have fought the shit out of him. And then the other thing I'm thinking too, so with the daughter, it could have been possible the daughter could have got away with it too. Especially because she technically lied. She said she drove to Florida. But the single evidence she presented at the gas station bill where she bought some food and some gas is in Georgia. So if that's the case, I will eliminate Kenyon as well. So then that leaves Mateo and Ashley. Now, how Ashley could have did it. Yep, Zook was in the chat too. Not like chatting with me like through like VC or anything, but I'm just talking about like in the regular chat. Yeah. So now, how Ashley could have did it, she could have just went to the house. Could have accidentally found the gun and could have killed her moms right when she walked in. Wiped the DNA prints and stuff. But my question for that is, where would she hide like after that? Now, another thing you could possibly put into account is maybe Ashley and Mateo had a thing going. I mean, got a 20-year-old something, and she feeling her mom's boyfriend. And then not only that, she's going through depression and stuff like that too. And then it's like, yeah, so you're going through depression over a divorce and stuff, but in the midst of that, you end up like feeling on your mom's boyfriend and shit. I can see a lot of ways how this could go. That's hilarious as hell. So on the Twitch chat, it blocked what Zook said, but on my restream chat, it said it put the uncensored version of what Zook said. That's how it looks like on my end, though. On y'all end, it might look different, but yeah, that's how it was looking on my end. Let's see. So. Yeah, because Mateo said he dropped her off. Police arrived to the scene in less than 5 minutes from receiving the call. Coroner did not find any signs of drugs in the system, only a small amount of alcohol. So yeah, so in that case, it's definitely between Mateo and the daughter. Alright. And that's the other thing too. They're saying, hold on, let me see something here. So Georgia to Springfield, Alabama is about an hour and a half to 2 hours and a half. They got Mateo's address on here? Nope, they don't. You know why? Because probably if I had the addresses, it would probably make the difference. She goes to the University of Georgia. So the fact that she says she drove to Florida. Huh. And then Ethan he's in Atlanta, Georgia. But the problem with him is it's like he doesn't have a valid enough alibi. So my honest opinion, It's too risky. It's too risky for that drive. And then the fact that he lives alone doesn't have, like, I feel like this is something he would at least put into account. Yeah, because you're 45. Unless the other thing I could think of is maybe he just like broke in, but I doubt that he would be able to break in, or they would have mentioned it being broken in. So I guess the next time I stream this, I'll let y'all, like, I'm not gonna let you know, but I'll let you know how close I was. So I guess I should at least give y'all my lock-ins. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna give y'all my lock-ins. You know why? Because then it makes it still tougher. Because that's one thing with the game is like they want like they want your solutions. Because I talked to like the creators of the game, they only want certain stuff being mentioned. They don't care as much about me like revealing what I went with, but in the grand scheme of the game itself, it's like you're supposed to solve it yourself. That's like the thing. You're supposed to solve the mystery yourself. So, but those are the two I got. So I got Mateo Marino and or Ashley Wilcox for that one. And then if we go back to the other case, let's see. Let me see. And if we go back to Lightning Never Strikes, and then for Lightning Never Strikes, I have Jeff. Bro was in the area. He has access to the weapon that was like on there. And it's like he has a few different reasons why he would possibly need like 5,000. And I think that's part of the reason why he went in there. It's like, cause more than likely, what I think will happen with that one was that I think he came there acting like he was going to visit or whatever after already asking what is the dude name? What's the dude name? Jason? Yeah, Jason Hart, after asking Jason Hart like for all the money and shit. Like for like to help him out and all that, but Jason said no. But he's like, yo, alright then let's just still come through and chill for old time's sake. And he's like, okay, bet. However, it's like I think the other reason too is I think it's the fact that I think Jeff knew Jason would have been ready for him. They're both Marines. So he was like, okay, bet. I'm going to do this and that. Act like everything chilled. And then I'm going to catch you lacking. But Jason was like, okay, let me just hide my money here just in case. Because he probably only going to like harm me, right? He's not going to like try and hurt my wife. Well, that ended up not being the case. Because she got it too. Yeah, this was pretty fun. But I think due to like the last cases I got like a better understanding of how this game go a little bit more. So like always, like thank y'all for rocking with me. Foster Gamer. And with that, I'll catch y'all, love y'all, and peace out.